just wanna spend my life with you all day. You say that you love me, is it true? You say I'm the only one that's all for you. Okay, make me feel away. Make me feel away. Shorty so damn dangerous. Fuck me like I'm famous, yeah. I've been so impatient. So glad that you made it, yeah. Took my dick and faced it. Shorty going crazy, yeah. Thought that you was playing, yeah. Saw me spray it everywhere. She want me to take it. What you tryna do? Shorty said she like it.
Alright guys, time for another uncomfortable conversation. Today's question is, what are your love languages and why are they important to you? That's the first half of the question. Second half of the question is, would you cheat if your needs were not being met?
You go first.
My love language, quality time, acts of service, and that's about it. I'm like on the huff of like physical touch. I don't like to be touched sometimes. But I'm working on it though. What about you?
Mine's are quality time and physical touch.
Dang.
Yeah. I think, I'm a Cancer, so I'm nurturing, I'm caring. I also come from a very affectionate, loving family, so that's how we show love, is hugs, kisses, holding hands. So that to me is important. And then the quality time, that just shows that you're interested, whether I've met you for the first time and we're dating early on, or we're 3-5 years in. I need to know, that you find it important enough to carve out time out of whatever kind of schedule you have to designate time for us. I think that's important.
Yeah, quality time probably like my number one. Like, I always gotta be around you. That's just me. I always gotta be around you. No matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
But
you could be doing nothing, but in the same presence,
they gotta be
right?
the same presence. They gotta be
I'm
around.
kind of that way too.
Yeah, I can go play the game or something. You don't gotta be right there next to me. Mm-hmm. That's my me time. But no, I always gotta be around you, or I gotta at least know what you're doing, or are you okay? Because I'm big on safety. So, acts of service, like you just said, growing up, I grew up of a giving household. That's all we did, give. Birthdays, all that. Not just those. Just I would come home, be stuff in my bed, oh, here you go. So I'm always so new that I'm always a provider. I always gave back. I always do more than what I expect people to do for myself. So I don't really expect it in return, but I know when I do receive that, it's like a super plus for me.
Yeah, like a selfless giver. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I do too much. Sometimes I would buy way too much, or extend my help when I only need to do it.
Okay.
That's like my little backlash or that. But
why do you think it's important to you to
do
acts of service or receive acts of service, if that's your love language?
Because acts of service is think about it, it's like a graduating scale. When you grow up, you have brothers and sisters, or only child, you go to college, and at the end of the day, you got your friend, and usually you settle down with the person you're around the most, which is your wife or your husband, and you always going to see them when you're home. You go home to them, you're around them, so you have that expectation of having that quality service, or have that acts of service around them, and just being able to spend that quality time.
Yeah.
So I feel like those two go hand in hand for me. I don't know. What about you? When you think
sense.
about, throw a scenario for you, what do you for quality time? What's an example of your quality time?
Well, I could give you an example of when I felt like I wasn't receiving that, and and I think some women can relate. It's when you meet someone and maybe you'll go on a few dates, or you'll see each other, but then it's been a week or 2 weeks, And at this point, you may know that person's schedule. You know when they're available.
Right.
And they choose not to make time for you. And so in the back of your mind, you're like, well, is he going to make, an effort to say, hey, come over today? Or, hey, let's go grab a drink? Or, hey, let's go see a movie? Or just be in each other's presence. Like, hey, I got to do this, but you want to come with me? I know you off, so... I got to do this thing, but there's no reason you can't come with me. And to me, that just shows, like, you want me around. You actually enjoy my presence, and you look forward to seeing me as much as I look forward to seeing you. If I don't get that and I don't see you, if you can go a week and a half, 2 weeks without seeing me, you don't care.
Dang,
You're not interested.
You said a week and 2.5?
If I don't see you for 2 weeks, that's a lot. That's half the month.
That's tough.
Yeah. I mean, considering your schedule, what you got going on, but then on top of that, I'm not saying if you're busy and you really can't fit me in for 2 weeks, then that buckles down to the communication, right? I can't see you because of my schedule. I really don't have time the next 2 weeks, but you know what? I'm going to make sure we do something before, next month or whatever when you have time. But making the effort to show me that you want to carve out that time is important.
So you think love languages save a lot of relationships and marriages? Do you believe that?
I believe communicating what they are, yes. Because you may not know and you may have an assumption. And like for me, if somebody was just gifting me with things, of course, that's nice, that's sweet. But to me, that doesn't mean you necessarily are showing love for me. Like, that's not a love language for me. Because especially if, like, let's say I didn't see you for 3 weeks, right? And you just sending me flowers every week. Like, oh, here's flowers, here's a bag, here's some shoes, here's tickets you and your girls go see this concert. The gifts are being fine, but I'm still like, when am I going to see you? When are we going to do something together?
Right.
That's just me, and that's how my mind works. So I think it's very important in a relationship to discuss your love languages so that you are actually giving and receiving that love that you feel like you need.
Well, I feel like a lot of men miss that or misinterpret that or don't pick up those type of signs.
Right.
So we end up, not saying me, so to say, I'm saying men in general, they miss those signs. And
you pick up all the signs.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I learned. I've been reading this book about the 5 love languages. So
okay.
I've been learning.
What have you learned?
I've learned that everybody's different, and I learned that everybody has certain needs, and when you don't meet their needs, they don't feel wanted, and they don't feel wanted, they might end up not being there at the end of the day. So
right, or faithful,
or yeah, which leads to the next question.
Right.
Would you cheat if your needs are not being met?
Yeah. I don't think so. So I'll be honest, I've cheated in one relationship.
Damn, at least you're honest.
And I was young.
How young?
19.
That don't count.
And, I was in a committed relationship for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like I count that relationship. It was for 4 years because
we
did stay together.
Oh, yeah. He took you back.
Because I was honest about it. I think that has a lot to do with it too. But would I do that again? No, I would not cheat if my needs weren't being met. Without the effort of communication, I wouldn't cheat at all. I would communicate. I would say, hey, I've talked to you about this. I'm still not seeing it from you. And, I've mentioned it to you. And if it's still not being, if there's no improvement, then I would discuss, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I'm not cheating.
Yeah,
But,
I feel like a lot of people don't know when to let go.
100%.
So when they don't let go,
100%.
they rather, because they will take that, like, I won't say people, they always want that 100%, right?
Yeah.
So they rather, you got this one guy or one girl that's give you 80, but you're still missing that 20%. So you'll go somewhere else and get that 20%, but still want to go back to that 80. You know what I mean? So I know in that part, a lot of people do that, and they always try to live 2 different separate lives.
Try to have that cake and eat it too.
Yeah, and then they don't be truthful about it. I feel like if you're going to cheat, at least be truthful. Like, tell the side girl, like, listen, you know this, like, this is your lane.
Oh, that's not what I meant by being honest. That's not what I meant by being honest. what I meant by being honest is if you cheat, you then, own it. You take accountability and you come back to that person, and people don't do that, right? But my guilt got to me, and that's where I had a conversation with my boyfriend at the time and admitted to, stepping out on the relationship. And regardless of if there's a good enough reason or not, I explained my reasons. And fortunately, we were able to communicate and get through that. It took a year to get back to build that trust.
A lot of bumps and bruises right there.
But, I had to do my dues. I had to, share locations and check in and earn the trust back. But majority of people are not going to admit when they've cheated. They're not going to bring it up first. They're going to wait till they're caught. Mm-hmm. And even then, they may not even admit to it.
They definitely not going to admit it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't think when your needs aren't being met as an excuse to cheat, but it's definitely people's honest reason for cheating. So if that's your honest reason, like you just said, hey, I was getting this, but that one bit that I wasn't getting from you, this person was providing for me, and so I went over here for a little bit. That's an honest conversation. Then you just have to figure out between you and that person if that's something you want to fix and improve, or hey, okay, well, we done, so.
Yeah, for the most part, I know a lot of strong women be like, well, I'm done. When a man cheats, the woman just want to be done. But then it's now it's different. I feel like the roles is different now.
Men do not, it's very rare that a man will take a woman back after cheating. It's
I don't know.
Really?
It's a lot of suckers out here now.
Yeah.
It's a lot of suckers for love out here. They're going to take it back.
Women too.
I mean, women,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't cheat. I just get food without you. I don't care.
That's the bottom line. I don't condone cheating.
I don't cheat.
I don't think it's a reason to cheat if you're not, getting your needs met.
Yeah, I don't cheat. I just go get food without you. I just forget you. I'm cool. I'll be gone for a couple of days. I'll be back.
Cheating?
Nah, I'm gonna get food.
Gone cheating.
I'm gonna get food with my nigga J-Mo. I'm gonna get food and come right back. At least J-Mo, he honest. He Christian.
Yeah.
He gonna let me do nothing I don't do.
He gonna throw the word at you. He gonna tell you to communicate.
Excuse me, brother.
Matter of fact, here's a reference.
Yes, page 37.
That's a good
Thou shalt
phrase.
not cheat.
Right. Hello.
Listen.
10 Commandments.
He's gonna
be.
Yeah, but
I feel like you communicate what your needs are. You can clearly set the expectation. If then the expectations are still not being met after a conversation, then
you gotta step.
Yeah.
Stop. Or
you gotta realize when it's time to let go. Jobs, relationships, anything.
Oh, you preaching?
I'm just saying.
Damn. Flashback.
Know when to let go.
And let go and let God.
Let go and let God.
And we out.